My banksters, welcome to the bank. You are here with the teller, rob the bank. Follow me as I follow money. Let's dive deep, get rich. Let's update our software so our hardware can run efficiently. We're watching another installment of Grant Cardone and DJ Vlad. So let's go ahead and just jump into it and see what they're talking about.
Well, you said you wouldn't do retirement accounts.
Yeah, definitely not.
I have a lot of money in my 401k.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought
sorry
that was
for you.
Why do you feel sorry for it? It's a way to put money in without paying taxes on it.
It's a way for you to be trapped for 30 years.
Well, you can pull it out when you're what?
63.
63. I thought it was 59 and a half. No,
You don't know.
something like
63.
that. Yeah.
And
you
by
can
the
pull
way,
it out
by the
whenever
way,
you just pay taxes
how old
on
are you
it.
right now?
50.
Yeah, man, I hope I look as good as you when I'm your age. 13 years from now, will taxes be higher or lower?
Higher.
You will wish you would have sold them when you were 50, because you'd pay lower taxes, dude.
You don't pay any taxes when you sell. When you pull out money out of your 401k, if you wait until you're 63.
When you start using that money, you're going to pay taxes, bro.
When you pull the money out,
And start using that money, you're going to pay taxes.
you're not paying taxes. When you pull money out of your
No,
401k,
If I'm not mistaken, you will. It's capital gains tax. If I'm not mistaken, you'll be paying money on when you pull that money out. And importantly, I think also what he's saying is probably inflation is going to be higher too. It's not going to equate. I think that's kind of what he's saying. But I don't know. Let's see.
You weren't charged taxes while it sat there. What's wrong with you? Oh my God, guys, hammer him in the comments
hold on
right
a
now.
second.
Okay? What the fuck happened to you, bro, with this goddamn degree you got?
And to be honest, I was like Childish Gambino. This is America. You getting taxed, whether it's on the front end or back end. Some way, somehow, you getting taxed. But yeah, I just seeing the last video of Grant Cardone. His philosophy is really so in accounting you have working capital and like just keep it simple, resting capital. So you got working capital, money that you're constantly using, and investment capital. So working capital is pretty much day-to-day use, and investment capital is longer term, 10 years, so forth and so on. His investment strategy is pretty much keep everything in working capital and reinvest everything back into yourself to be able, or to reinvest into assets that produce income. So something that pays you out weekly or something in that form. So that's pretty much what his philosophy is. It's pretty much active income, something that's always producing money, something that's always producing income instead of just, because what he's saying, at least what I'm speaking about here, is investing in a 401k. It's nothing, it doesn't move. You're essentially just letting them, it's essentially a savings account. And it has a tad bit better returns on it than just a regular 1% savings account. I would say if you really want to do something like that, a DRIP account would be better. And DRIP is dividend reinvestment portfolio. So that would be better, at least, because all the dividend, whatever is being be paid out to you, is just taken and reinvested. So it's compounded interest. That's something I would see would be more beneficial. But I mean, to each his own. Once again, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a tax specialist, nor an advisor. I am a regular guy who has objective thinking. That's it.
Well, hold on a second. Well, I didn't.
Do your research.
IRS allows penalty-free withdrawals from retirement accounts after the age of 59 and a half.
Penalty-free, not tax-free. So they're going to fucking charge you a penalty. They're going to put handcuffs on you to sell it before then. But dude, when you're
real quick, and I know he's about to get into this. it's real interesting to make sure you know the words of the lingo, the vernacular of whatever industry you're in. Since this is finances, you need to know the financial vernacular, or finances. Like legalese, you got finances. You speak finance. So it's really important to understand penalty is not the same as tax. So I'm following what Grant's saying. So
You're 63 years old. When you start withdrawing, you're going to start paying taxes at that point. And the taxes, like you said earlier, are going to be
Yeah, you're right.
high.
401k withdrawals are taxes in.
Exactly. So check this
Oh,
out.
I see what you're saying.
Look,
Okay, right.
Look what this fucking Biden guy's saying right now. Your boy, the guy you love so much. Okay. Look, he's saying let's take capital gains to 44% right now.
Which is what, 15% now? Usually?
Right now they're 19.
19.
19. He wants to take them to, I think, 44%. Canada just took them to 66.
Shit.
The last time, so imagine if in the next 13 years, taxes are going up. You said that. Imagine that the taxes aren't 19% capital gains, but they go to 39 or 59 or 66.
No, I see what you're saying.
The way Canada said, then they're going to get you, bro. Now, I believe that Wall Street and the IRS got together and said, hey, we want to capture this money for long periods of time, and we'll benefit you by hammering these people, hundreds of millions of them, by the way, trillions of dollars. Okay, trillions of dollars. $38 trillion is sitting in IRAs and 401ks. $38 trillion.
You were right. When you pull money out, it gets taxed as income. But the whole time you put it in tax-free and it grows.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could grow bigger because you put more in.
It grew, but the problem is...
You pull tax on the back end.
The problem is that dollar was also being devalued for 30 years.
This is true.
Okay, so how much you got in the retirement account?
right, and then you have to worry about year-on-year return. If you constantly, and I think that's a real interesting part about it, is if you're constantly investing in it, what's the year-on-year return? Like it's kind of funny because if most people wouldn't constantly invest in something if they're not making a return on investment, but a 401k has no return, like the year-on-year return. I would like to know what is the usual year-on-year return in a 401k account, but I think it's just the percentage of how much money you make. I mean, the percentage of interest that you get when you invest into it. I don't know. I'm not really, once again, not a financial advisor, not a tax specialist. I am a thinking man, objective thinker. That's it.
Let's say you got $2 million. Okay. If inflation does exactly what it did in the last 4 years, you got what, 13 years? If it does in the last 4 years, your account got hammered by 500 grand, 25% lost in value, US dollar. If that continues, and it will, because we'll continue to print money, you could literally lose 100% of the value of your 401k simply by the cost of goods going up and the purchasing power of your dollar going down.
Yes, but if the money is actually growing faster than the rate of inflation, then you're okay.
Yeah, but you're not.
That's hard. How many times money grows faster than inflation is ridiculous. Nobody, I'm pretty sure people in the 1950s was not expecting Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami to be the cost that it was, New York to be the cost that it is now. Even though them places was already expensive, but they wouldn't have equated it to be what it is now. So
my investments grow faster than inflation.
What did it grow last year?
Oh, man, I think I made about 37% last year.
Nah, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I bet you another 100 you didn't make 37%. But if you did, great, man. Were you in all tech stocks?
All my money is in Amazon,
Okay.
Google, and Tesla.
Well, good. But you did.
I can tell you exactly.
well,
Exactly.
If you really want to be a CEO, want to be an entrepreneur, you should take the first step. Create the LLC. It doesn't.
And you did. But you're not in mutual funds, and you're in something else. Or you
No. I'm an actual individual stocks. My 401k is all in S&P 500.
Okay.
But my
Okay, so like I just thought, the 401k is in the S&P 500. So it's attached, it's coupled with the S&P 500. Whatever the S&P 500 does, that's what pretty much your 401k plan is going to do. If we hit a recession, essentially, your 401k will drop with the S&P 500. Once those stocks tank, so will your 401k. And how long does it usually take on average? How long does it usually take for a recession to rebound? If I'm not mistaken, it's like 7-10 years. So if you 63 and you finally get to pull your 401k out and you don't get to pull it out right before a recession hits, you're essentially screwed. like that, like literally unless you leave it in there for another 7 years or 7 to 10 years and pull it out when it rises back up. Crazy.
personal investment is in those three companies.
No. Okay. And, well, good for you. So you're a rich dude. You're an exception to the rule.
I'm okay. I'm not as rich as you. Hold on, I'll even tell you. Hold on.
No. If you're in those, bro, you could
In
be
2023,
yeah.
I made 83% off my stock portfolio.
Yeah, good for you.
Now, in 2022,
Now,
I lost 40. I lost
Did
43.
you sell any of them?
Didn't sell any.
So you ain't made shit.
No, it's all on paper.
You ain't made shit, bro. It's like me looking at some hot pussy and not hitting it.
Now,
I didn't get pussy. I looked at
in
it.
2022, I lost 43%. Okay. But I didn't sell. I bought more.
Well, good for you.
So the next year, I made 83%.
You can't argue with his logic. Like that's exactly what you did. You was kicking it with a hot bitch. You didn't even get to fuck the hot bitch. You just hung out. It's not the same. But I will say this. The only pushback I will say about Grant Cardone is that you can take a loan out against it. A lot of people do that. Your stock portfolios, you can take a loan against your stock portfolio because you don't. If you take, as soon as you remove the money from the stock market and you made money, it's called capital gains. So as soon as you remove that money from it, you have to pay the capital gains tax. But you can also take a loan out against the portfolio and just essentially just pay whatever monthly installments that you have to pay from the portfolio. With the stock portfolio being what's contingent upon if you pay back the loan or not. So,
Bro, you're an elitist.
I'm an elitist. Okay.
You're an elitist. You're a goddamn colonist.
I'm a colonizer?
You're a colonizer. Somebody called me a colonizer recently. I'm like, what is that?
Oh, that's a Kendrick Lamar line.
Oh, is it?
That's the new culture vulture or honky or cracker or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Colonizer. Yeah. That's the new term.
I said, it sounds good.
Okay. No chasing relationships.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Popularity and approval.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I was a young guy on the way up right now, I would not be chasing pussy every day.
Drugs, alcohol, and partying.
Definitely.
You had your time with drugs.
Yeah.
No investing in mutual funds or stocks.
Yeah, that's right.
I disagree with you on that, but that's cool.
Goddamn, you ought to interview yourself.
Buying houses, cars, and watches. I love my watch collection, though. What do you got on right now? What you got?
Patek.
Yeah. You got a Patek Philippe.
Mm-hmm.
Those things actually hold value.
Not really.
Yes, they do.
They're getting hammered right now.
Are they?
Everything.
I
Every watch.
I haven't bought a watch in a while.
So a lot of people kind of talk about this. I really want to touch on this. I don't have a Patek Philippe or any of these watches, so take whatever I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But I'm not. If I'm buying one of those watches, I can give a fuck less about the resale value of the fucking watch. I got it because I wanted the watch. I don't give a fuck the resale value. Now, will I want to catch it when it's slightly cheaper and buy it? Yes, obviously. But am I buying this and thinking like, oh, this is going to be like an investment or a stock? No, I'm not in the resale market of watches. I'm buying the watch because I wanted the watch, I like the watch, and I can afford the watch. I think that unless you are a resale, like people who buy shoes and resell shoes, and you do that for watches, it makes no sense to even care what like the resale value of it, because they're going to fluctuate just like stocks. I just don't. Me personally, that's just me personally. Once again, I don't have a Patek Philippe or a Richard Mille, or I don't have that. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I don't see the point in worrying about whether it's going to resell or not. Now, I did see somebody talk about having the watches as liquidity, quick liquidity when you go to different countries, because you can't fly with a certain amount of money. If you fly with a certain amount of money, you can't do that, but you can fly with watches. I would think that's pretty smart. Like, if I can't and I need the money to go do something, I just take a few of my watches and just resell them, because I didn't, that type of thing. That's pretty smart for the liquidity reasons. But for the most part, I'm not looking to buy and resell my watches. I don't really give a shit enough. I'm just buying a watch because I like it. So.
Every fucking watch out
But
there. Every watch. The Rolexes, the
less...
Pateks, the Richards. The Richards has gotten fucking slaughtered.
Oh, yeah, the Richards got slammed. I was actually thinking about buying one a few months ago.
Yeah, don't.
No?
Piece of garbage.
You
own 3 of them.
You own 3 of them?
Yeah.
All right, sell me one of them. Give me a good price.
Okay. Why? But why? I didn't buy it. It's a piece of garbage. Like,
therapists analyzing your personal issues.
definitely, dude. Would not touch those guys.
Really?
Those guys
I
cost
got
me.
a great therapist, actually.
God damn, dude. I don't even know why I let
but
you.
my therapist has helped me through some hard times.
Good for your therapist.
Okay.
Good for you. We're not even sure you're through the hard times.
Comparing my success to my upbringing. That's actually a great point.
Hey, this man, Greg Cardone be throwing a little slight jabs, bro. I be fucking with him.
Because a lot of people,
agree with.
A lot of people look at how they grew up and feel like they've made it just because they're farther than that. But you're right. You should have higher goals than that. If you grew up poor, the fact that you're middle class.
Dude, my grandparents, both Italian immigrants. Okay, one was a shipbuilder. The other one was born on the boat on the way over. Never, ever had papers to live here. Illegal immigrant his entire life. These people had nothing, man. And, they if I compared my life to theirs, like, I would have stopped
A long time ago.
Yeah, because compared to somebody on the Gaza Strip today,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter. No, if you're in America, you could be homeless, shaken, and you're still better off than somebody in the Gaza Strip. You can always make sense of somebody being worse off than you, and that I did this.
Yeah.
These are the 10 mistakes I made growing up as a kid.
I agree, man. My dad used to always say this: man, don't cry over having no shoes when there's a man with no feet. I used to cry about having no shoes until I met a man with no feet. Somebody always has it worse. Always. Now, if you the guy that's really at the bottom of the bottom, man, I feel definitely shitty about you. But it's always somebody who has it worse, man. Don't cry about not having shoes, because you're gonna meet a man who has no feet. So whatever bad you think you're going through, there's somebody going through worse, sure.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Branson said that the way he became successful is that he created unrealistic goals. And although he wouldn't always hit them, he would go farther than the realistic goals.
Yeah.
Because, I mean? So it's like, if your plan is to make 100,000 this year,
Yeah.
say 500,000 instead.
Yeah.
Now, you may not make 500,000, but you might hit 3.
Yeah.
If your goal is 100,000, you would stop when you hit the 100,000, and you'd never make the other 2.
You probably won't hit the 100. You probably come up short. I've never hit any of my targets.
Really?
Never.
I've hit a few.
I've never hit any of my.
I've hit a few. You said you recommend buying businesses instead of starting a new one. You said, I will start a business today, dumbest, most selfish thing a person could do. And you mentioned how Elon Musk didn't start Tesla. He actually bought Tesla.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's another good one. I think that's a good episode. Yeah. Let me see. I mean, the biggest takeaway of what he was saying is pretty much like what the episode was already kind of talking about, is the fact of, like, the thing. Well, his biggest thing is what he was saying was not like the point of having a 401k. The point, like, me personally, I just don't see the logic in having a 401k, because it's attached to the S&P 500. Now, I don't like I said, it's I don't know all the ins and outs. I am not I am not a IRS tax consultant. I am not a financial advisor. I am just an objective thinker. That's it. And when I see that, when I see a 401k plan, you're essentially putting it into the stock market. You're essentially just paying, like putting money into the stock, a saving account into the stock, and the company might match you whatever it is. And it makes not much financial sense because I don't see a year-on-year return. One thing I thought Vlad kind of said, which was interesting, was that he pointed out his personal investments, the percentage he made, if I'm not mistaken, like 63%. But he didn't point out the, like I said, the year-on-year return of the 401k. He didn't point that out. He didn't say my 401k, it rose 70%, which kind of shows you that investing in the stock itself is cool. Having a stock portfolio is cool, but the 401k plan, he didn't speak about that. So I think that kind of, like, at least to me, that kind of hurts his argument on whether the 401k plan is even a necessity. Because in all fairness, I'm pretty sure Grant Cardone can tell you his year-on-year return for investing in his real estate company or having his real estate portfolio. I'm pretty sure he can tell you the year-on-year return. Vlad didn't say what his year-on-year return was for the 401k portfolio. He did say what his personal portfolio investing in Tesla and Amazon and Google. He said that had rose 63%, but he didn't say the percentage on the 401k, which I think is interesting that he didn't point out. And I think it's good advice. I think it's pretty good advice to, like you said, don't chase pussy, try to stay away from drugs and alcohol in the beginning years. So I use this adage a lot. And before you're 25, that's pregame. All that is pregame. When you hit 25, when you hit 26 to 35, that is your first quarter, 36 to 45 is second quarter, 46 to 55 is, I just lost count. But you get where I'm going. So pretty much from 25 to about, what was that, 25, 40, so 65. So essentially about 25 to 65, that's when the game is actually going. Anything after that is just overtime. But essentially, you want to, those first 25 years, you really want to, because especially for men, we don't fully cognitively develop until 25. So everything that happens to us before 25 doesn't fully cement in our habits until 25. Or the way you process things, the way you think, how you look at things doesn't fully cement or become some semi-permanent until 25. So, and you have no value to offer anybody. So, you just pretty much finding things out, trying to figure a lot of things out. Now, obviously, you can have a springboard if your family is into something or if your father was already doing something, that type of thing. But for the most part, before the age of 25 is pregame. As you warming up, you testing a lot of things, you're trying to get things going, and you going from there. That's pregame. So I agree with pretty much what Grant Cardone is saying. Now, obviously, there's caveats. There's obviously drink if you are in a party life. You know what I mean? It's for obvious reasons. Like this is not something that's set in stone, but it's a good guideline from a guy who's if I'm not mistaken, he said he was 60. If not, he was pretty close. or he was like 50 something or whatever it is. But it's a pretty good guideline from a guy who's 50 years old, who's kind of been through a lot, seen a lot. He's been in a recession before. He's lost a lot of property in a recession. He, he had a business, lost the business, did drugs. Like, I think it's pretty deep. I think it's pretty decent advice from a guy who's done a lot, succeeded and failed. So, yeah, man. Let me see what else. I think that's pretty much about it. Just catch me on the next one. I'm definitely gonna follow this, the episodes with DJ Vlad and Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is one of my guys, man. I like Grant Cardone, so we're gonna see what he talk about on the next one. So, man, make sure you update your software so your hardware can run efficiently. Catch me on the next one. Follow me as I follow the money. Let's dive deeper and get rich. Out.